On this episode of Negative Modifier, we'll be playing the game deltagreen. Deltagreen is a mature tabletop RPG that tackles various dark and unsettling themes and topics that some listeners may find traumatizing, harmful, or generally uncomfortable. Listener discretion is advised. It is December 21st. Agent Saga, you are at the airport. Flying where?
More than likely flying to Washington, D.C. So I work as part of the federal archaeology program. I'm part of the federal archaeology program, and so I work for the Parks Department. And so occasionally we have to fly back into Washington, D.C. just to kind of make official office appearance, at the national office. So I'm just doing one of my quarterly fly-ins before the holidays are over.
Okay, and it's December 21st. You leaving a family gathering? You going to a family gathering? You going back to D.C. just to do some work kind of around the holidays? What's the reason you're at the airport?
I'm heading back into the office to kind of finish up some things. So I'm flying back to Washington, D.C. briefly, and then I get to come back home to spend time with my family.
So are you flying back home or are you flying to D.C. at this point?
I'm flying to D.C. first to get some stuff done, and then I was going to fly back just in time for the holidays. So a lot of flying, just it's kind of due to the work. So, but yeah.
Yeah, so with ticket in hand, print out as you near the gate, they've called your row, you're about to board, you hear over the loudspeaker system, paging Dr. Julio Fernandez. Dr. Julio Fernandez, we have an urgent message for you. Please see your nearest service counter.
Okay. So I kind of perk up because I wasn't expecting to get something from the airport because obviously I probably get messaged normally on my phone.
Sure.
Or, my email from my boss. So I decide to go ahead and check into the service counter. Hi, I'm Julio Fernandez. You have a message for me or?
Yes. Sorry, doctor, we've just received information that you're on the wrong flight. Your booking was wrong when it was sent to you. You've now been rerouted to your intended destination. Hang on.
Upon hearing intended destination, my eyebrows perk. I'm like, oh boy, I know what's coming.
Our deepest apologies. You've been rerouted to your correct destination of the Milwaukee airport. We're very sorry about that. Kind of hands who have tickets. The information just came through. We're very sorry about the last minute change. It could have been quite a problem if you boarded this flight here.
Oh yeah, no problem. Just out of curiosity, the rerouting for my flight, did anybody mention any names in particular or anything like that? My boss sometimes will leave a note for me or anything like that. So I just kind of want to double check.
No, I don't believe so. Kind of just starts flipping through some notes. There was mention that there will be a driver waiting for you at the airport, I suppose. Sorry, we don't typically take notes like this. This is after all your intended destination. Our apologies for the error on our end.
No, it's fine. I just wanted to make sure if there wasn't anything else I missed. So you said Milwaukee. Am I gate's not too far away? Because I'm assuming different gate, of course.
Give me a luck check.
All right. 18 out of 50 success.
Yeah, it's only a few gates away.
Oh, perfect. Do I need to grab my tickets from you, or can I grab them from the counter over at the gate?
She just hands you some paperwork. That's again, our deepest apologies for this. It would have been quite a problem if you'd gone to DC. We'd have lost you in the system. It's strange though. Our system doesn't make mistakes like this. I'm so glad we caught this though.
No, I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Sometimes, it's the holidays. It's understandable. Things getting mixed up and all that stuff. It's no problem at all. Thank you for making sure I'm on the right track. I appreciate it very much.
And with a kind of a smile and a wave, she points you towards your gate, which is also boarding. This is a very last minute change. There's a person at the gate looking around confused where it's they have a look on their face of what the hell do you mean we're missing someone? And I will say the seat you have is not a good seat. This is about as bad a seat as can be found on a plane. This is obviously the only seat left on this plane as best you can tell.
Okay. Well, I'll, whatever my carry-ons I have, I'll try to find a place to get them stored. Well, I had luggage that was already checked in, so not a huge deal. Yeah. So I will go ahead and make the best of the situation that I am now in.
Excellent. Agent Sanguine, what are you doing at the airport? Is anyone there with you?
I am hanging out in the Platinum Rewards Lounge at our most used airline, whatever. I don't know. I don't fly enough to know exactly how that works. It is a yearly trip that is paid for by points as well as purchases for this medical office. Wife is going about talking and socializing. I am just brushing up on, I guess, like do plastic surgeons have magazines, like trade magazines or something?
I assume
like
they keep
that?
up with some type of like, they're plastic surgeons, but I think they keep up with like some medical journals and stuff. You are technically a doctor after all.
Yeah. So I guess I'm like doing what I do in order to help just keep up with my profession.
As you're sitting there kind of leafing through this, you hear a M kind of from above your papers. Are you Dr. Abel, I'm sorry, Mueller?
It's Mueller, yes. Can I help you?
And so it's a sharply dressed man who seems to be working at the lounge here. Yes, we just received a call. There is a medical emergency that requires you in Milwaukee.
Milwaukee? What in... God damn it. The caller didn't happen to leave a name, did they?
I believe they said their name was it was a strange name, Edict or something like that.
Edith. Oh, phenomenal.
No, Edict, not Edith.
Yes, phenomenal. Thank you so much. Is the message written? Is the message typed? Can I take the message?
They said they would explain after you landed. They just said that you need to be redirected immediately to Milwaukee and to apologize for any interruption this might have on your plans. Apparently there was a medical situation that only you were prepared to deal with or qualified to deal with. They were very insistent that you need to be on, kind of looks at his watch. Oh no, the plane in 5 minutes.
God damn it. Thank you. As I get up and I am texting my wife, who is literally on the other side of the room, that I have to reroute and make an emergency flight back to San Diego, as one of our VIPs is leaking lymph fluid and has ruined the inside of her McLaren. And I need to go fix it or something like that.
Yeah, so kind of with an eye roll, your wife kind of like sarcastically waves goodbye from you as she's like doing something or talking to someone.
She's perched up against a very handsome gentleman and kind of talking to him basically while almost sitting in his lap. I would figure that she's going to have an okay time.
I don't know.
By herself. How far am I having to run? I am in like a Bermuda short, like tropical sort of vacation style. Like it's expensive but tacky. You can't purchase taste.
Give me a luck check.
20% success.
It's a dignified, brisk walk. Nothing too unseemly as you kind of make your way with purpose through the airport. Thankfully, you're past the security gates for this and whatnot. So, yeah. And again, there's a very last minute nature to this booking of this seat. It seems to, again, be the last seat available on this plane, if not someone being upset that maybe they got bumped or something. I'm assuming Agent Sanguine, when they travel, pays for better seats than this typically?
Oh, yes. There is no way. Like, this man is so used to just having reclining seats and whatever the heck. There's no fucking way that this person is slammed in between two people in a middle seat at the back.
Oh, yeah, no. This is definitely a downgrade from what you were expecting. Agent Spark. Why are you at the airport, and is anyone there with you?
Yeah, I am getting ready to go on vacation. I didn't decide where we were going this time. So I don't actually know where we're going. My wife did. And we're kind of just sat waiting to board, probably like 20 minutes before boarding.
Yeah.
I'm just hanging out.
Yeah, your seat number gets called, or your kind of your own number gets called, your boarding group, whatever, and it's time to board the plane. What do?
I'll get up and get ready to board the plane. I'll grab my bag and my wife's bag.
So your wife in front of you, a ticket gets scanned, gets on the plane. You scan your ticket and a little kind of error sound goes off, and the person scanning the ticket lets you go, "Oh, I'm sorry. Are you Talia Tanaka?"
Yes.
We just received a message a few minutes ago. We are to not let you on this plane. You have been rerouted. They said you would know why.
I see. I will turn to my wife and say, it looks like I have to make a detour for work. Why don't you just text me where we're going and I'll meet you in a day or two?
What is your relationship with your wife like?
I mean, she knows that I work for the government, so this is like a fairly common occurrence, but we're in a fairly, the bond's at a 15, so it's a fairly strong relationship.
Yeah, so she kind of shrugs and goes, I'll find some way to surprise you still. And she kind of, as she's turning to board the plane, she goes, the pyramids will still be there when you're done with whatever the work emergency is. And then kind of walks off with a bit of a kind of, what's our phrase, sass to it, kind of board the plane. And the person checking looks at you. You've been rerouted to Milwaukee. If you go to gate, give me a luck check.
68% failure.
Oh my, yes. If you go to gate, well, you're going to need to go all the way back to the main intersection at the top of the concourse and then take a right and then go as far down as you can and you'll see your gate. And she kind of looks at her watch and looks at something on a little computer. Oh my, they're in final boarding right now. You need to hurry.
I'll grab my bag and run.
All right, give me athletics.
Oh God. 6% out of a 30% success.
All right, so you are that person running through the airport and you hit the gate, and as you arrive, there is a very angry man talking at kind of an attendant for this that's like, what do you mean we've been bumped off the flight? We were reserved, we were called, and kind of gestures at his kid that's crying now because he's yelling at this person. We booked special seats all together. What do you mean we've been bumped? What do you look like, out of curiosity? Do you look businessy or kind of officially or anything like that?
A little bit official, less so now. Talia is a woman in her late 30s, early 40s. She's got dark hair that she wears up in an intricate bun. She's average height, like 5'7", but she is dressed nicely. It's not, like a suit or anything, but it's a split between, formal and comfortable, I would say. And she does carry herself with some amount of, not authority necessarily, but confidence. So, she's has a personality that people can definitely pick up on as somebody who's, confident in themselves.
So give me a stealth as you're kind of arriving.
Okay. Well, that's a 84% out of 80% failure.
Maybe it's the shoes, maybe it's the kind of the fact we just ran through the majority of an airport, but like this guy whirls on you and go, do we get bumped for her? And the attendant's kind of like, no, sir, this is an emergency. We're very sorry about this. And kind of sheepishly, another attendant looks at you and goes, are you Talia Tanaka?
That is yes.
Right this way, ma'am. If you can move quickly, we can diffuse the situation, hopefully in a more expedited manner.
Yeah, I will go with them.
Yeah, so you board the plane and this guy is just yelling. His wife is trying to calm him down. He's screaming about how you've ruined Christmas and whatnot for his entire family. They were going to go see their grandparents, et cetera, et cetera. They only have so many Christmases left in them type of thing. Like just every kind of shitty thing you could yell at someone who just ruined your flight plans on December 21st is being hurled at you down kind of the boarding ramp.
As I past me starts hurling insults, I make it a very pointed motion to pull out my AirPods and put them in my ears as I follow the woman.
And as has been so far this case, the seat you got is not a good seat. You didn't see as many children on this plane as you hear as you're flying.
I'm sort of used to this. I work for the government. They fly me low class all the time.
Yeah.
I'll just put some headphones in and put on an audiobook. I think it's Atomic Habits, and just kind of kick back.
Sure. You all arrive kind of at various points in time at the Milwaukee airport. MKE for those that care about these types of numbers. And Agent Sanguine, what do you look like as you disembark? Like, what does Agent Sanguine look like as he's now been taken from his tropical vacation plans to arriving at a place that's high expectation for temperature is in the low 30s at best?
Agent Sanguine is pissed. He has no idea why he had to be rerouted. Literally on his flight to his vacation, he was about to spend just his yearly getaway in beautiful Hawaii at like this resort that he's just been racking up points. They've got like a cabana, everything else like that. And now he's at a place where like he has been to a couple times, maybe for like a convention or so, or maybe like a seminar. No luggage, totally not dressed for the occasion. He has to pick up like a jacket or something like that. It's probably like some sort of like Milwaukee souvenir jacket or something to at least like deal with the fact that it's fucking cold. There's no like pants or whatever the hell. So he's got like his like little Bermuda shorts and his little boat sandals or boat shoes situation. Trying to find at least like anyone holding a sign or...
Well, so what does Agent Sanguine look like?
Agent Sanguine is kind of an older gentleman. He's quite put together, very affluent, and very skilled plastic surgeon. He has a bit of a severe German face. I don't know if that is very descriptive, but it's one of those things where it's just like, think of like a very...
Sharp European features, one would say.
Yes, thank you. But sometimes he looks a little severe. Before he looked kind of just like handsome, sharp, or whatever the heck. But something's changed in a little bit, and he's looking a little more gaunt sometimes.
Sure.
A little bit of the bags under his eyes have started to show a little bit more. And he's a little bit more irritable than before. Before he was a little like haughty or whatever the heck, but like now he's more irritable than anything.
All right, so as you kind of descend the escalator down to baggage claim, you see just kind of a little bit of a wreck of a man standing there with a stained piece of cardboard with the words Emerald Excursions written upon it. And he's balding, like about average height, like his weight's kind of fallen into his gut some. Like he's not heavy set, but kind of that like cataclysmic, I've been living real hard for a little bit too long, and just kind of has that like stretched down into his gut look type of thing. And he's wearing a overcoat and kind of weirdly sized clothing. And he's kind of looking up at you, and he nods at you as you come down. Agent Saga, what do you look like as you arrive at the Milwaukee airport? Are you even remotely appropriately dressed for this?
No, I was just going to hint that technically I was flying into, well, since I was going to be flying into Washington, D.C., I don't think their weather is very much prepared for the cold.
I mean, Washington, D.C. gets cold this time of year, too.
Well, not as cold as Milwaukee, I would
True,
believe.
that is true, but you would at least be prepared for winter.
Yeah, so a little bit prepared for winter, was probably maybe expecting a little more rain because, you know, it's also coming from LA. So I have enough clothes that'll be okay, but I could definitely get a few more layers to get warm. So
would you say you're an LA person dressed for LA winter going into actual winter?
yes, at the situation right now, yes, that is exactly where I'm at.
So what do you look like physically?
Physically, Agent Saga is a little bit on the older side, but he definitely takes care of himself in terms of like being in shape, working out. So he, even though he is on the older side, he does look young because he does, you know, take care of himself. So he's very much kind of not like super built, but like, you know, pretty well maintained. He's got semi-longish brown hair, beard, mustache, blue eyes. Family is part Spaniard, so there's kind of that lineage that shows up there.
As you descend the escalator, you see this kind of tragedy of a man standing next to a very severe-looking man that's dressed completely inappropriately with the fact there's 2 feet of snow outside the airport. Agent Spark, what do you look like as you arrive at the Milwaukee airport?
She's dressed like casual, but not like, you know, sweatpants and whatnot. It's almost like business casual. It's kind of weird.
Travel comfortable, but not like wanting to go the full yoga pants for a 14-hour plane ride type of thing. Exactly.
Yeah. She kind of holds herself in too high of a regard to do something like that. We know that she wasn't ready to be here, but she definitely puts on the face of somebody who, you know, is where they're supposed to be. You know, it's kind of like a confidence that's always there. So she's always looks like she's confident in herself and where she is and what she's doing, even if she's not.
All right. Yeah. And as you descend the escalator, you see an irate looking, just kind of out of place man in shorts. This not completely inappropriately dressed, but definitely like wrong dressed for the environment. Taller kind of man. And then just this train wreck of a guy who's gotten tired of holding up the sign, has tucked the cardboard under his arm, and it's just kind of looking at his watch, looking up at the escalator, looking and sees you and kind of like lazily gestures at you to follow him, and he leads all three of you out of the airport into a fairly nondescript, mid-quality SUV and kind of gestures to you all to get in. I believe this is our first meeting before. You can call me Edict. I'll be your, what's the right phrase for this? Eye in the sky on this one. Apologies for any holiday plans I may have disrupted doing this.
You wouldn't at least have a blanket, would you?
Well, Doctor, you are dressed what might be referred to as improperly for this weather. Where were you bound for before this?
Hawaii. Now, do you have a blanket or not? Or at least turn on the fucking car so that way I can get some heat.
Give me a luck check.
44 critical.
Oh!
Well, I've got good news and bad news for you, Doctor. The no blanket, but the heat is stuck on full.
I happen to have a spare jacket if you want to borrow it for now. It's not much. It's something if you'd like to borrow it. I don't know exactly if it'll fit you, but you're welcome to take it.
Thank you. I just need to cover up my legs. I was able to at least find this weird I Heart Milwaukee jacket and whatnot, but if I need to start moving or anything else like that, God, this reminds me of, you know what, never mind. I grab the jacket and just kind of cover my legs and kind of try to huddle up, stay warm.
So who's sitting in the back and who's sitting in the front?
I'll sit in the back.
I'll sit in the front.
I'm already in the back.
So as you're getting in Agent Saga, there's this kind of stained paper bag that Edict grabs and then kind of tosses the people in back. I picked up some Christmas cookies for you, so it's not a total bust. Again, real sorry about messing up the holiday plans if you were, but hey, 3 agents in transit's gift horse. One does not look in the mouth in a situation like this. I'll explain as we drive. We'll have a chance to stop and get you some more proper attire. Unfortunately, CGIS agents typically, dress for the environment they're working in.
We do when there's a little bit of a heads up. This was kind of a, at least for me, it was a last minute reroute.
Like I said, all 3 of you were in transit, and we have a bit of a situation pop up that required immediate attention on our part. Apologies for that.
What was that you just said? CGIS?
Oh, sorry. Yes. Welcome to the Coast Guard.
Oh,
boy.
Specifically, the Coast Guard Investigative Services.
That's a first.
interesting. I'm taking this as somehow related to the water, or at least somewhere in a body of water of sorts?
Well, as you may be aware, Wisconsin's a bit of a landlocked state, technically, but there is this big fuck-off mini-ocean attached to it. Any of you had the good fortune to go to Lake Michigan before?
I've been a few years back.
Ever had the misfortune of going to Lake Michigan in the winter?
No.
Well, you're about to.
Oh, fun.
That's cool, I guess.
I look over and go, see what you did there.
You drive for about 10 minutes in silence, and eventually Edict starts back up again. If you investigate the bag, I prepared some holiday cookies for you. Obviously, they can't make up your disrupted plans, but I hope they take the sting off of it.
Are they actually cookies, or are they going to be some useful materials for later use?
As shrugs while driving. 2 things can be true.
I'll pick it up and crack it open. What's inside?
So the bag is indeed filled with some well-meaning but badly decorated Christmas cookies. Like, you've never seen so many kind of like acid fate-melting snowmen in your life type of thing. Again, they look homemade, but they're very badly homemade. And as you also rifle through the bag, you eventually find kind of a Ziploc bag at the bottom containing some paperwork and some IDs that do indeed identify you as members of the Coast Guard Investigative Service. As you can see, I prepared some stocking stuffers for you. They'll work well enough, but if you're into the actual Coast Guard, you're well fucked and then some. They won't pass being run more than once, I think. Again, bit of a rush job on those, and, well, no one really knows the Coast Guard has an investigative service, so kind of backing on that one.
Well, other than the fact that we're now Coast Guards, what exactly has happened? Where are we going? What are the details?
I suppose I should have gotten to that. There's been a murder, and we tend to give murders that happen this time of year a little bit more credence, especially when they seem to be in especially remote locations. Take out your phones now and look up a place called Red Landing. You'll find a small island out in the lake that its only claim to fame is a Yule festival that happens this time of year. In fact, it's underway right now. Congratulations, you are now investigating the first violent crime in 75 years to happen on Red Landing.
The corpses don't have like 3 holes and oozing orange pus now, would it?
That's very specific.
What a strangely specific question to ask. No.
Okay. Thank God. Nope. Just everything was just getting lined up as something that was just eerily familiar. And honestly, I just wanted to make sure that I wasn't set up for something that I did not want to do again. That was my question. That's it. I'm good.
Well, the poor woman was found murdered, you see. As best the coroner could tell, strangled, then let out onto the water of the lake, where she floated ashore after some time out there. Seeing as the lake is got a nice layer of ice upon it right now, and it's only getting colder, it's, how do I put this? Establishing exact time of death is a bit of a problem. We only found out about this because, well, she washed ashore on Red Landing, and some tourists found her and called it in.
Interesting.
Indeed.
Washed ashore. Isn't most of the lake frozen right now?
Yes, that leads us to suspect that she did not float far.
So why did you pull us here to just investigate a murder? Unless, of course, there's going to be something that is very disturbing about the murder.
Like I said, when incidents like this occur, especially this time of year, we tend to take them a tad seriously. Do you know what happened today?
No.
Well, today was the winter solstice, and I'm not sure how up on your crazy cult behavior you are, but they have a thing for that.
Mm-hmm.
Generally speaking, anytime someone dies in a strange way, plus or minus a day around this time period, we typically have a team look into it. Especially when they wash ashore on a remote island covered in tourists, celebrating a festival. Could be nothing, could be something. Better safe than sorry, but this little precaution of ours has caught a few things in the past.
A few things that a homicide department shouldn't have had a handle on, or...
You may not be aware, but we've killed Santa Claus. Twice, technically. Or at least something people thought was Santa Claus.
Okay. Well, that's something I wish I didn't know.
That is interesting. Huh.
Like Santa Claus or Sinterklaas or like the Jolly Red Guy?
Car slows down a little bit, pulls this out and looks at you all. That was a joke. Santa Claus isn't real.
You say that now.
Yeah, this particular line of work has showed us that if someone says something that sounds a little bit crazy like that, more than likely there's some truth.
Forgive me, this is my attempt at holiday cheer, I suppose. This is also ruining my holidays, such as they were. Again, very sorry for pulling you all into this, but we treat these situations with a bit of paranoia, one could say.
Paranoia can be good sometimes.
Indeed.
Well, then, do we have any kind of leads outside of maybe just whatever report that was filed for? Is the report filed?
The report has been filed. We're not capable of dismissing that. I can tell you a little bit about our Jane Doe. She does have a name after all. She is one Rebecca Goldblatt. Age 68, born September 22nd.
68's a little interesting. Visible marks or anything else like that other than the strangulation?
No, but that's the strange thing. The strangulation was aggressive.
As in, like, her neck is broken, or?
Almost. The coroner, who was not exactly pleased to be dealing with this given the time and whatnot, and let's face it, the lake washing most evidence away. Said that whatever got her had the strength of, I don't know, a bodybuilder. Maybe she got pulled up into a tree or something. An immense amount of force was exhibited.
Sanguine is now kind of leaning forward, getting a little bit intrigued by this. He's started to kind of find situations like this a little fascinating, more morbidly intriguing than he's willing to admit. Is the body viewable by chance, or is it something that we just have to go ahead and take report and run with whatever we got?
Kind of shrugs at this. We can take a detour if you want. There's not much to be gleaned, if I'm being honest. Lake did a good job of washing everything off, unfortunately.
You have the report with you now?
My mistake. Yes. If you could open the glove compartment, I stashed it in there.
I'll go ahead and open the glove compartment and see, look for the report in there.
Front passenger, your name is...
Oh, just call me Saga.
Sanguine, good to meet you. And you? And I turn to... Spark. Perfect. And I reach out my hand to Saga.
I will hand over the paperwork. And as I hand over the paperwork, just out of curiosity, anybody here in this car happen to have a background in perhaps forensics? Anything that we can do if we do go take a look at the body that would be beneficial for us?
I'm looking into it right now as I open the file and just take a quick look. By chance, is there any photos of the strangulation markings?
Yeah, so in the report, there's a variety of photos of it. And again, like, whatever got her hard. The water and kind of the cold has done a good job of messing it up, but like you can see very deep impact.
Does it look like human hands? Does it look like non-human hands? Does it look like it was strangulation happened because of an implement?
Give me a forensics or medicine, actually, because you would have some information on everyone's higher.
I'm going to do medicine. And that is a 23 success in medicine.
You're not looking at it in person, so you can't quite tell, but like it has all the telltale signs of human hands type of thing. But the force this would require is immense. Like you can see kind of telltale signs of maybe like the collarbone being slightly broken or something along those lines. Like it's human hands, but like human hands that are capable of like a vice grip level of pressure. Humans do exist that could hypothetically do this if they were like big bodybuilders or something, but the number of people capable of exerting kind of this level of force with their hands is relatively low. Also, this is a 68-year-old woman. This seems... Give me a psychotherapy or a human int based on what you're seeing.
I will go with psychotherapy. And that is a 57% success in psychotherapy.
This feels like overkill a little bit. Like, no offense to the elderly, you do not need to squeeze this hard to kill an elderly woman. There's not much more you can glean from the medical report. The reality is, like Edict said, Lake's done a pretty good job of kind of washing all the details away. And after about a half hour of driving, you arrive at kind of a middle of nowhere store, and Edict goes, if I was you, I'd recommend picking something up here. It's no-name brands, which means you'll blend in a little bit. You can claim the lack of uniform as given the last-minute nature of this. Sadly, I couldn't track down any Coast Guard foul weather gear for you. Thankfully, the Coast Guard does employ some civilians as part of their whole investigatory thing. I'll wait here. What does everyone buy to deal with the weather?
I'm just going to buy some, just a thicker jacket for the snow and maybe some like no pants, I guess, if that's even a thing. But yeah. And a pair of boots that are going to work well, like nicely insulated boots.
Sure.
Well, Sanguine goes skiing pretty frequently, so he knows how to dress for the cold. Base layers, just kind of at least not like matchy, single monotone, whatever the heck, but like he looks good with his gear on as best as he could with the options that he has. Some boots and a hat. You can tell that this person is not, or is doing his absolute best to stave off the cold.
All right.
Spark is getting a nice winter jacket and some boots, as well as some good baggy winter pants, as well as those like long johns to put underneath them, you know?
Sure.
And she throws on some stuff that she brought with her because she did pack some stuff for cold weather because she wasn't sure where they were going.
Sure.
And yeah, just general winter supplies. She gets some hand warmers, gloves as well. She gets 2 sets of gloves. Those big, like, poofy ones that you can't really do manual dexterity with, and then a much smaller set that is much easier to do manual dexterity with.
Makes sense. Anyone purchase anything else while you're here? Any equipment, any tools you think you might need?
I'm going to go ahead and buy some of my standard equipment. It's mostly like electrical equipment or electronic equipment and listening devices and whatnot.
This is a kind of sporting supply store, so they won't have a ton of that stuff. You can probably pick up like some walkie-talkies and maybe some like basic hunting gear.
Yeah.
Get a laser pointer.
Yeah.
Same. Do they make anything in particular for walking on like icy surfaces? Maybe something that like kind of clings on a little bit good. I'm not familiar with walking.
So there are 2 answers to this question. There are snowshoes and there are things called crampons.
Mm-hmm.
The traditional snowshoe kind of looks like a tennis racket, but the modern ones kind of look more like almost like a flipped upside down trampoline of sorts to a certain extent. You put your boot into and then kind of strap to it. Crampons range in kind of variety of what they are. They can be kind of like little spiky things that you slip your shoe into to something much more aggressive.
I would probably go with that second option just because I already have the boots. And so if I need to add anything extra, I'll just kind of slip it over the boot, I guess.
Sure. So before you go with that, how aggressive are you being about this?
I would say not too aggressive, but if we potentially run into like some areas where I need to walk on some ice, I'd have some sort of preparation as opposed to just taking my chances with just the boots.
Okay. So kind of some low aggression, if you will.
Yeah, I think low aggression would work great.
I'll do the same thing. Seeing him buy them, I'll go ahead and get myself some as well, about the same size. Is Milwaukee a state where you can just buy hunting rifles out of...
It is not. It requires a background check.
Damn.
I think I'll be picking up a pair of crampons as well as an ice pick and some rope.
An ice pick?
Like, when I say ice pick, I mean like...
You're talking like a climbing axe?
Is that what it is? All I can think about is like, all right, cool, something to anchor me in ice.
Yes, you're picturing kind of those like curved things you see people climbing glaciers with and shit like that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's called an ice axe or an ice. I guess there's something that's called ice picks. There's also something that's called climbing axes. That's a separate topic.
Can you tell that I've never seen fucking negative, like less than 20 degrees Fahrenheit in real life?
This is why I asked, because I'm like, does this exist? This has got to be a thing. Yeah, this is all new to me.
Yeah, for the record, for those that are going to be pedantic, there is such a thing as a climbing axe versus an ice axe. Ice axes are made for ice. Climbing axes are made for like rock climbing. They're a little bit interchangeable, but not really, turns out. So I guess on that topic, do you buy one or do you buy 2?
I think I'm only going to need 1 because all I'm thinking about is the fact that we're Coast Guard and we're probably going to be out lake. I just needed 1 for anchoring and just in case if any one of us falls into the water.
Sure.
I don't know how I would deal with that.
What's your first aid at?
My first aid is at like 61.
What's your survival at?
See, that I was going to say, like, that's different. Like, first aid, I know how to treat someone suffering from hypothermia, but how to get someone safely out of like a frozen lake, that's not something I know how to do. Survival's at a 10.
Yes, you've probably seen some diagrams of like some rescue climbing or something like that, but nothing. That's not your specialty. You're a plastic surgeon after all. You really had to deal with the idea of using an ice axe to anchor and then rope to rappel down or something like that or anything along those lines, but I'm sure that won't be relevant eventually.
Yeah, I don't plan on fucking like, I'm not trying to rescue anybody from Everest, but I'm going to be close to the shore.
Yeah. So any other specialty stuff? We got the ice axe. We got the crampons. Got some electronic gear for like walkie-talkies and shit like that.
I am going to pick up some hand warmers.
Okay.
Oh, and as well as a pair of polarized sunglasses.
All right.
I'm not going snowblind.
Yeah, I mean, other than like, seeing what the others have bought, and like, oh yeah, gloves is a good idea and all that stuff. I think for me, there any like maybe I'm trying to think of what kind of gear I would need to do my investigation, in particular, like investigatory specific items. But honestly, I mean, considering it's ice and snow, I don't know what I'd be limited to. But yeah, I'm trying to think. I don't know my equipment doesn't really list much.
Yeah, the reality is like none of you are from a cold climate, and none of you have a lot of experience with winter conditions, so you're buying kind of the normal stuff, I guess.
Yeah.
Can I grab some binoculars?
Yes, that's totally a thing you can buy.
Yeah, if anything, I think also just a larger backpack to be able to carry a bunch of some extra, like, what if items and whatnot.
Makes sense.
That's the parks department for reaching out to me like that. I need a backpack to carry all this stuff. You never know. But yeah, that'll be it. Me, I think.
All right, everyone got what they want?
Yep.
Yes. So as you emerge from the store, Edic's kind of leaning against his car, smoking some, and he looks at you. Going camping, are we?
Well, you never know.
No, I suppose you don't. All right. Got a little bit more driving to do. I forgot to mention this while we were driving. Do any of you get seasick by any chance?
No, I should be just fine.
No, thankfully.
Well, that's good, because there's a ferry ride in your future.
Ferry ride tickets are already purchased?
This is kind of an emergency situation. Seeing as you're Coast Guard and whatnot, they kind of made a bit of an emergency trip. I was going to mention this as we got closer, but there's only one trip to the mainland and one trip back a day. Has to be during daylight hours because of the cold. You leave in the morning, come back in the late afternoon. Kind of stuck there, if you get my drift.
Are we on a time frame then? Do we need to finish this before the next ferry, or?
Shrugs at this. Just something to keep in mind, I suppose.
All right.
Unless you have any more questions, kind of, that Edic maybe can or cannot answer. He's going to drive mostly in silence. Do you have any more questions for him, I guess?
No, I don't think. I don't have anything else besides we already got the, report on the body and all that stuff. So I don't think there's really anything else we need.
All right. So it's definitely night as you arrive at a small, looks like it might be a fishing pier of some kind with a boat attached to it or kind of moored at it type of thing. There is a late 30s, early 40s, Middle Eastern looking man kind of standing there in a big, thick coat, just kind of seemingly waiting for someone to show up kind of on the dock. He's pacing back and forth, some blowing into his hands for warmth. And as you kind of pull up, Edic goes, well, all right then. There were some phones in the bag, so if you find anything, give me a call. Enjoy your time on Red Landing. I've heard it's wonderful this time of year.
Phenomenal. If we need any kind of further support or if we need to contact you as to update on the situation, is your number already on these phones?
Indeed. Under home office, under contacts.
Good to know.
Like I said, this is a special trip. Normally you have to wait till the morning to get a ride over to the island.
Do we have any accommodations set up already?
None that I could arrange for. It's quite busy, it seems, over there.
Well, all right. By chance, actually, say that we need a gun. How can we get a gun?
And it shrugs at this. Probably steal one. Gestures his head. Perhaps the sheriff over there can help you out some.
Okay. It's not too hard.
Well then, we'll see you soon.
Good hunting and whatnot. You know the drill.
Yep, that sounds good.
You out of the car at this point?
Hop out the car with my backpack full of my new stuff.
Yeah, so the man that was kind of waiting rapidly approaches you. He's visibly shivering. He is not happy about the cold he's dealing with it as you're kind of standing there. A just blast of wind whips off the lake. Everyone give me a constitution.
35 out of a 65 success.
66 out of a 65 fumble.
Oof.
Yeah.
85% failure.
Agent Spark, I'm not quite sure why you're unaffected by this. Maybe it's all the kind of thermals and whatnot you're wearing, but this wind off the lake just cuts through your clothing like a knife. It's exceptionally cold, like it is. Are you familiar with the concept of wind chill factor?
No.
Yes.
So when you are dealing with especially cold conditions, there's the concept of how actually cold it is versus how cold it feels. And wind chill factor can take like a just below freezing temperature and make it feel like a negative number potentially if the wind is strong enough or cold enough type of situation. It is not great, and it really does make the environment a lot worse. So Agent Sanguine, you're just hit with this like slicing cold. Agent Saga, this thing hits you even harder. Maybe that makes a certain amount of sense. You are from sunny California after all.
Yeah.
Things you might not know. Muscle, not the greatest insulation against the cold.
Yeah.
Is this the coldest you've ever been potentially?
Possibly. I mean, I don't normally go out to the cold very often. And even then, like, I'm used to kind of like, if I do travel to places that are cold, it's usually like DC and it's brief.
Yeah.
Not too long. So like, and I mean, even then I'm indoors most of the time. So like,
no, makes sense.
Not really outdoors too much. So yeah, that'll definitely, that'll hit me like a glacier for sure.
Yeah. So you just start like shivering. Maybe your teeth are chattering some, and the man, the kind of heavy coat approaches you. Kind of as he gets closer, you kind of some details come into perspective. Darker skin, kind of thick black beard, dark hair. He's freezing as well. Looks at you. Yin's with the Coast Guard.
Yeah.
Gestures at the boat. All right, let's get our asses in gear before it gets even colder out here. Ever been on the lake during the winter before?
No.
No. First time, actually.
Well, welcome to probably the worst boat ride of your life. Ever been on the Great Lake before?
Yeah.
This is probably the warmest you'll be for the next hour or two.
I'll keep it in mind.
Yeah, so it's a small, kind of decent-sized boat, like no lower cabin or anything, but there is like plenty of wind protection on it. There's no heater built into it, though, or anything like that. But yeah, it gets cold minutes, you load up, you kind of cast off. As you're pulling away, the wind is just kind of buffeting you. It is goddamn cold. And kind of through chattering teeth, the guy goes, I should have introduced myself. Sheriff Musaf, Alan Musaf. I'm Sheriff on Red Landing.
Nice to meet you, Sheriff.
Thanks for the assist on this one. Well, this is the biggest, honestly, anything that's happened on the island. Definitely since I took over the office, but I honestly think like maybe ever. Someone was saying like the last time anything like this happened was almost like a century ago or something.
That's pretty intense.
What do you know about Red Landing?
Not a whole lot.
It's normally got about 300 people that live on it, so my job most of the time is pretty easy. Keyword being most of the time. Island's population goes up to almost 4,000 this time of year. Kind of, what's the right phrase? Holiday destination. You know what Wassail is?
Is that a person or a place?
Agent Saga, give me an anthropology.
You got it. 5 out of 40 success.
Wassail is a traditional German holiday, kind of winter holiday drink made of spiced warm wine.
Upon hearing Wassail, I go, oh, okay, yeah. And then I look over to Sanguine and go, it's a drink. And then kind of explain a little bit what is in it, but like, yeah, it's a drink.
If you've never tried it before, you're about to have your fill of it. We're a bit of a winter wonderland this time of year.
Ooh, I'm excited.
It kind of puts the boat into more gear, faster, more wind kind of whipping at you. Apologies, it's going to be kind of hard to talk over this. I'll fill you in as we kind of get closer. You have to slow down some. If you see anything big in the water, try and get my attention. It's probably a chunk of ice. And boat's kind of going fast across the lake. The lake's not totally frozen yet, but you definitely see kind of like patches of ice. Like you get the occasional kind of splash of spray off the water. And it is indeed cold. Like, fun fact about frozen bodies of water, they can get below freezing before they freeze because the volume kind of stops that from happening with some frequency. Once they do freeze, they freeze quite solidly. They typically kind of freeze actually from the land out into deeper water because deeper water keeps it a bit warmer, ironically. That's why you kind of see the kind of ice forming around islands and stuff like that. But yeah, it takes about 2, almost 3 hours of boating, and you eventually kind of off in the distance, you see just kind of this like slowly coming into focus, just lights, shit tons of lights. And You definitely hear holiday music because of the cold air. It's kind of carrying it to you. It's maybe not Christmas music you're used to, but it's got kind of a like old timey feel to it, kind of like almost like a German beer hall vibe to it of some kind, potentially, kind of like a oompa aspect to it. Boat kind of starts to slow down some as you approach the kind of island. You see that like there's a fairly kind of major dock you're about to pull up at. It's got a large kind of ferry parked at it. The ferry's big enough to maybe transport a car or two, big enough for some major supplies and whatnot. It's got a couple cranes around there for unloading. Not a ton going on here. Like this is indeed, you are a little bit trapped on the island. There's a collection of smaller boats, a couple fishing boats, a couple small motor boats, nothing huge though by any measure. And off kind of like up the hill from the dock where you're landing, you do hear kind of a bunch of sounds of town going on. It's a little bit off though too. You're realizing kind of just how loud these sounds are and just how much they're carrying out at you. Sheriff parks it, kind of gets all tied off. Well, welcome to Red Landing, I suppose. You're the Coast Guard in this case. I was told this was all handed off to you. I can help as best I can, but need directions to where you want to be or anything like that?
Yeah, I'm just kind of want us in the vicinity, and then once we're close enough, yeah, if you can point out any specifics, we can go from there.
He kind of looks at you confused. We're walking.
Oh, well then I should probably bundle up to be sure. Because man, that chill hit me hard when I got out here.
Yeah, it'll do that. I thought I was used to that shit, but nah. Yeah, so it's about a 15-20 minute walk to town. You'll see why I couldn't bring the car out once we get there, I suppose.
Makes sense.
The road is not paved. It is a dirt road with kind of some gravel across the top of it to give it a little more form to it. And you start walking, and as you get closer to town, you realize that you are slowly walking into what can best be described as like a replica village of kind of some, maybe it's appropriately interpreted, maybe it's not, you can't quite tell. None of you are experts in Scandinavian architecture, but it's lots of like 2-3 story buildings, very traditional awnings. And so as you get closer and closer to town, the sound is deafening. And as you approach, you kind of come up over a hill and you're looking down onto just this town that's lit up, like ornaments, lights everywhere type of thing. And you're looking down what you'd assume is to be the main street. It's also the only street that goes through town. And there's a giant kind of traditional fir tree in the middle of town that's been decked out some. But more importantly, at the opposite end of town, kind of looking out over a cliff, is a giant wicker goat. And you see hundreds, maybe even thousands of people kind of milling about. There's lots of kind of sounds of happiness and joy and just kind of chaos about, all kind of festive stuff going on. And yeah, the sheriff kind of stands next to you. Welcome to Red Landing, the holiday destination of the area, I suppose. Give me a human int.
Besides int, could I roll maybe like charisma? Or no, it has to be that.
So I rolled a 60 out of 18% failure.
31 out of 10 failure.
37 out of 10% fail.
There's kind of an awkwardness that hangs in the cool air for a quick second, but it passes pretty quickly, and the sheriff starts leading you down towards the town. This part of it's pretty well shoveled, like you're having a hard time kind of navigating it. Like they're working very hard to make sure no tourists fall. So as you approach the town, like it's just a bit overwhelming might be the right word for it. Like this is a town that is really, really into the holidays, but like presenting a specific version of the holiday. If I say it's more of a Yule festival than a Christmas thing, will that make sense to people?
I mean, I know there's a difference, but I don't know what a Yule festival looks like.
Yule's more like a Germanic pre-Christian celebration of the season. Yule is part of like, not the witch's calendar, but like a pagan calendar, specifically around Christmas time. Like Saturnalia and Yule was then readapted to represent Christmas by the Catholic Church. It's a lot more nature-based and stuff like that. You'll have more like spiced foods. There's more like trees are a big thing, natural shit.
Got it.
A big part of it is basically staving off the dark. It's a very specific celebration of, hey, it's the darkest day of the year, it's the shortest day of the year type of thing. So we're going to burn a bunch of stuff and kind of drive away the shadows and the demons in the dark and stuff like that. That's kind of the evolution over time. Like a lot of the major kind of iconography of Christmas is actually based off of Yule. Like Christmas trees come from Yule. Back in Yule, that used to be burning giant piles of trees, though, to kind of make giant bonfires and stuff like that. And
I see.
this town leans hard into kind of that more traditional aspect to it. So it's not so much Christmas, but it's got kind of like notes of Christmas, but lots of lights and there's small bonfires everywhere. And there's just like a heavy miasma of like strong alcohol and spices and kind of like meats and potatoes, very kind of hearty winter food, lots of sweets and stuff like that. And the majority of the people you're seeing are kind of late 20s to kind of like middle-aged people. This always seems to be kind of like a destination of sorts. Like this is a raucous party. Like this is definitely not a bad place to be this time of year by any measure. If you had to guess, you'd probably say that, like, given the size of this island and the fact that normally it has 300 people on it, and it balloons up to several thousand people this time of year, this is the thing that keeps the island's lights on the rest of the year, give or take.
Got it.
Agent Saga, give me a anthropology as you're kind of walking through this.
Alrighty. 49 out of 40 failure.
Something's a little bit off about this, like where it's definitely kind of giving off Germanic vibes. There's another culture present that's not Germanic, but like there's something a little bit different about this presentation of it. You're not going to put in your finger on it, but not your specialty, so not a big deal. All right, so you arrive at this just raucous townwide party. The sheriff definitely seems to be kind of a little bit uncomfortable to be here through all of this. Not uncomfortable, just kind of like, yup. You could probably guess that this is probably the hardest week of his entire job of the year, too. You'd guess that a big chunk of his job this time of year is dealing with drunks and kind of any fallout that happens as part of this event. And kind of looks at you. Welcome to the Red Landing annual Yule Festival. That's kind of what we're known for. I've been asked to ask you to not put a damper on things if you can. Kind of bad for business, bad for tourism.
Yeah, I understand that this is kind of a rare incident. It's not something that it's going to be, going to be blown out of proportion or anything else like that. We're not trying to sensationalize anything. If anything, I'd rather just keep it a little bit more on the hush-hush.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, the less noise we make, the better. We're just here to do a job and, do what we can.
So as almost on cue, you hear this like just echoing, ringing sound ringing out from kind of further down in the party. And you see there's this giant bell kind of like dead center of the town. You're kind of up at the top where the big tree is. There's the tree, houses, shops, whatever on the sides kind of thing running down this big, very old looking bell and the goat at the very end of it kind of looking out over the waters. And this bell is loud and it kind of rings back and forth and like it's a booming ring, like almost painful to hear type of thing. And the sheriff kind of winces at it a little bit and goes, yeah, get used to that. It's rung every hour on the hour after the sun goes down.
Good to know.
You see Sanguine kind of in a sustained wince. Yeah. Thank you for the heads up. So, wow, that was loud. Okay. So, I would understand that this is kind of a small community or anything else like that. You wouldn't happen to have any kind of usual suspects, right? There's not like I understand that the last incident similar to this happened maybe about 75 years ago. I doubt anyone that was involved with that is still up and kicking to make a second attempt or an encore performance, so to speak.
Kind of stretches a little bit, looks at you, goes like, well, there's kind of, let's call them 5 major families here on the island. You've got the Reds, as in Red Landing, you got the Haltons, you got the Nords, you've got the Thorpe family, and then you've got the Immers. Been here for about as fucking long as I can remember. There's a couple other small groups scattered out, but they're kind of the original settlers or something like that. The mayor told me all about this once, and honestly, I didn't really give a rat's ass about it because it doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things, but small town, real small town. This is the liveliest day of the year type of thing. Got a couple artists, I guess. I like pauses. Points off in the dark. Yeah, there's a small kind of like artist collective thing up there. Just some people lived in the town for a long time, I guess. I don't know, live here long enough and you pick up some hobbies, I guess. Not a lot of kids here. It's not a lot of kind of like suspected vandals or anything like that or anything. Nah, no real known suspects. Like the last big thing to happen here was last year at this damn festival where the damn goat got burned down. But that seems to happen every goddamn year.
Now, Sheriff, I would imagine that you have a decent idea as to know people around. Could you give us anything on Mrs. Goldblatt? Is she married? Is she not? Does she have a surviving spouse? If so,
looks at you. She's not from here.
Oh, well, that complicates.
We only got an ID because the person that runs the inn is capable of IDing her. Mentioned she didn't check in, but we assumed it was her.
Wait, so it's not a concrete ID?
Like I think the coroner confirmed it or something, but
okay.
Yeah, she's the only person in town missing at this point.
Where's that inn, by the way?
Landing in. That's kind of just like points off in the dark in a different direction. That's about a 10-minute walk out of town that way. It's probably going to be your best bet for lodgings in town too. Everything else kind of looks around booked, as you might guess.
Well, as morbid as it is, at least we know that there is at least one room that's vacant.
Chuckles at this. I actually wouldn't count on it.
All right. Goddamn.
So, almost if on cue with that, a short, kind of middle-aged man slowly kind of makes his way out of the crowd and towards you and goes, "Now, Sheriff, are these our new visitors? Are these the Coast Guard people?" Sheriff kind of looks at him. Thomas Red, Mayor of Red Landing. And guy kind of approaches you. He's balding some. He's got kind of like a big smile, kind of makes his eyes go small and stuff like that. Like on the shorter side, 5'4" type of thing, like grabs each of your hands, like shakes them vigorously. Welcome to town. Welcome to town. Terrible business that brings you here, but you're here now. Please, as part of your investigation, enjoy the festivities. Have you had any of the wassail yet?
No, not yet. I'm actually looking forward to trying some.
Excellent. Looks at the sheriff. The sheriff's not a big fan of it, but all of this is a little bit not up the sheriff's alley. I've got from here, Sheriff. I suspect you've got some drunks to deal with or something like that. After all, this is the biggest party of the island every year, after all. The sheriff kind of rolls his eyes at this and looks at you all and goes, "Sheriff's office is," gestures again to another kind of off in the dark, about a 2-minute walk that way. Decent chance the cell's going to be full soon, but yeah, if you need me, come find me.
Okay, I appreciate it. Thank you. And I'm sorry, just to make sure I got, what was your name again, Sheriff?
Alan Musaf.
Okay, perfect. I am Dr. Gutierrez.
And nods at this and wanders off. The small man kind of like clasps his hands together. Well, I do hope the sheriff wasn't too much of a buzzkill. Tragic thing that happened. Tragic. Could not be worse timing, but it seemed to be foul play of some kind. The rumor around town, she slipped and fell and probably fell in the water. You'll see when daybreak happens that, the walls around town are a tad steep, if you will, kind of right down to the water. It's been a while since something like this happened, but it's not uncommon for the kind of go tumbling off into the water. And this time of year, it's so cold, it's a bit of a shock. Can I show you around town?
Yeah, I would we'd appreciate it, actually.
The mayor just kind of leading you around, gives you a whole historical tour, points out stuff, et cetera, starts spouting off the history of the town to you, whether you want him to or not. How close attention are you paying?
I pay attention for the whole thing.
Yeah, same.
It's like, well, the town started off back in the 1800s. The town extended to you can't see it right now, but we're actually on the main island. There's a small island just out there past the goat. It's got a lighthouse on there and whatnot. Tragedy back in 1911 where just a tragic sinkhole opened up and a part of the town was lost, except the lighthouse, thankfully. And it's now kind of a natural little giant lake on the middle of the island. Unfortunately, many people's lives were lost. We never bothered re-extending back to it, but it's been quite a few years since then, obviously, over a century. Yes, we were started off as a small fishing village. A bunch of immigrants came to the northern Wisconsin area and in search of freedom and a new life in America and whatnot. We settled here on this island. It reminded us some of home. I guess my ancestors appreciated this seclusion. Did the sheriff give you the full rundown of the town?
A little bit. We might be seeing if we might need some lodgings at the landing inn, but otherwise, what typically goes on in this festival of yours? I do see that there is the wicker goat. I do smell all these little smells. Do you have any major special events or anything else like that? Or
it's quite the party, as you can see. The gestures at the bell. The bell was brought over by our ancestors over a century ago. It's mostly a fun frivolity and a chance to get a bunch of tourists to come to the island. We figured doing things up the old way on these things was a fun way of doing it. Emphasize food and good cheer as opposed to the more commercial aspects of things back on the island. If it lasts long enough, we will burn the goat on Christmas Eve, as is tradition. Admittedly, it's been quite a few years since that's happened, unfortunately.
Is it typically the same person, or is it like a new person that just kind of new prankster that is a little too excited for Christmas Eve?
Honestly, we don't know, but going back decades now, some hooligan has chosen to preemptively light the goat, and it's most unfortunate. Our artisans work hard at it every year, and it ruins the whole festival. And well, it's a bit of a sore topic for the town. Kind of ruins the whole ritual of it all, if you will.
That lighthouse still manned, by the way?
Oh God, no! It's been abandoned for years. It's on the verge of falling into the ocean. It's more of a relic than anything else. We'd demolish it, except getting something out there to deal with it would be a monumental pain. As you'll see tomorrow morning, there's not much of the small island left after the sinkhole happened. It's almost kind of like a strange ring of sorts. Kind of excitedly claps his hands together, though. So, we should be getting you some wassail, and then I'll tell you more about the island. Not that I suspect it's anyone here. My family, the Reds, have been here the longest. We're the original founders of the town, hence the kind of gesture sheepishly. The name, the Haltons were the second family to come over as part of the initial settling, followed by the Thorpes, then the Immers, then the Nords. They didn't show up till a little bit later. They've been here since 1905, but a lot of them didn't show up till 1940, 1950.
How old does the mayor look like? Seem like?
If you had to guess, like probably his 50s, give or take, mid-50s, maybe a little older.
Okay. Now, Mayor, I don't mean to make this dour, and that's why I'm just asking you personally. Can you give us a little history as to the last kind of major event that had happened on this island? By major event, I mean the little incident maybe about like 70 years ago.
I shrugs. Well, obviously, I was not alive for that. It's been quite a few years since then.
Surely you've heard stories.
Oh, of course. My family was here for that, and it was absolutely tragic. As the legends go, I suppose, it just one day they found out that the small island was built, or maybe the center's hollow or something, and a sinkhole of some kind opened up, and just everything that was there fell through.
Oh, so it wasn't similar to like what happened just recently with the
God, no.
Oh, my apologies. For whatever reason, I completely misunderstood or some of the things that people were talking about. I thought that there was something very similar to that body washing up on shore 75 years ago.
So he kind of looks at you concerned a little bit. Were people talking about the body?
Outside of our work or us asking in regards to our work, no.
Oh, thank God. Thank God.
But at the same time, so far, we've only talked to the boat captain and yourself.
You mean the sheriff? He's, suppose he was your boat captain for the night.
Boat captain, sheriff, and yourself. My apologies.
Yes, of course. Kind of claps his hands, leads you into a shop that's got like just jugs of liquid for grabbing, kind of goes, please, help yourself to some wassail. It will, I suspect you're cold after you're transferred over. The lake can be quite cold this time of night. It will warm you right up.
Don't mind if I do. Grab some the wassail.
Or somebody ask, who's drinking?
Not I.
I am.
I will take a taster.
Yeah. Just like a sip.
All right. So anyone that's drinking, give me an alertness.
78 out of 20 failure.
58 failure.
Traditionally, wassail is a kind of wine-like drink. This is a thick, heavy winter drink. It's almost got like a wild spice to it. It's thick, it's warm, like it seems to kind of coat your innards as it goes down. It's absolutely delicious. Got some spices, got some fruit in it type of thing. It's great. You feel warmer already.
Can I do an anthropology check to like know if this is like how it's supposed to be? Because like I know how it's described.
I mean, sure, but you didn't notice anything was different about it.
Okay, I didn't know. Okay, cool. That's what I was going to ask, but never mind then. Okay.
The mayor kind of looks at Agent Spark, a little confused. Not feeling the festive spirit, are we?
I don't drink. Sorry.
Oh, a non-alcoholic version. We can absolutely get that. And kind of like grabs another jug and hands it to you. Drink up. This one's booze free, if you will.
Okay, I'll drink it.
All right, give me an alertness.
58% failure.
Again, same thing. Like it's thick, it's spiced, it's mulled, there's lots of fruit flavors to it. Like it's almost creamy in its texture, and it makes you feel warmer, makes you feel happier. Everyone, give me a POW.
77% out of a 90% critical.
Damn.
That is a 67% failure.
That is a 50 out of 70 success.
Agent Saga, you kind of like feel the booze in this. Like there's more booze than you would expect, honestly, though. Like it's strong for just kind of like a cup drink, if you will. And kind of like you feel it warming yourself up. It kind of like you feel it pushing at your mind a little bit, but nothing too weird. Agent Sanguine, this is joy. This liquid is absolutely wonderful. Like it's just filling you with happiness and warming you up. It's just kind of spreading through your extremities. Like you don't notice the cold anymore. You're just kind of happy to be here. Who cares about this murder? It's a festive time of year. Don't worry about it. Agent Spark, you feel something push at your mind. Something liquid, amorphous, almost kind of snake-like. Try and like find something in your brain, kind of find a way into your consciousness. Give me a sand check.
37% out of a 90 success.
You feel it kind of like slam against your consciousness after it's a kind of final hit, just kind of slowly spills out of you type of thing, like kind of settles out. But like you definitely felt something weird happen as you took that sip.
I'll hold on to the drink, and I'm just going to fake like drinking as we continue to talk. I mean, I will attempt to give like, you know, the subtle like side eye to my companions of like, stop drinking, but I don't know if they'll pick up on it.
Well, I failed, so I would imagine that I'm grabbing a second cup.
You have no reason to be suspicious. Yeah, this stuff's great. You're going to keep drinking. Agent Saga, give me alertness to see if you notice Agent Sparks' kind of subtle tell on this one.
85 out of 20 failure.
Nah. They're probably just a killjoy. Yeah, kind of mayor smiles at you and looks at you. Good, isn't it?
Since I did ask my previous POW, and I do know what the drink normally is supposed to be like, can I like also just on my own be a little weary? Or is that because the alertness was for checking to see if I noticed Sparks kind of signal?
You notice there's something weird about it. Not weird in the same way Spark did, but like this is strong. Like it's not supposed to be this strong.
Okay.
That's how you noticed about it. Like,
but I do know enough that I just don't want to immediately go for another drink.
Yeah.
Like I'm like, this is a little strong.
You at least recognize that like the amount of alcohol in this, you probably shouldn't drink if you're on business.
That's kind of what I was alluding to, was like, yeah, I'm kind of here for work. So like can't have too much of this, and that sip should be okay.
Spark will look at Sanguine and say, we're here on business. I think a sip is fine, at least until we're off the clock, yeah?
I understand your reasoning, but this is damn good. And another sip isn't going to kill me. I'll take a quick sip and then put the glass down back on the counter. Besides, do as the Romans do.
I don't think that's a good idea. They're no longer around.
What do you mean? What? No, it's just a saying.
Yes, and I'm saying I think your justification is bad.
The justification that I am using is I am going to go ahead and take whatever little joy that I can find. Seeing as how I am suddenly who knows where on an island that I never meant to be on. I understand what you're doing and whatnot, but still, give me a break.
You're an adult. You can do whatever you want.
Exactly. Thank you. Anyway, I guess we should figure out some sort of plan.
So you're saying all of this, and the mayor's just kind of standing there looking at you confused. Like, now normally we charge people for this, got to keep the business and whatnot, but seeing as you're our special guests, these can be on the house, I suppose.
That's very kind. Thank you.
Not a problem. We hope to have all the unpleasantness resolved as soon as possible. If I may be tactless for a second, it's bad for business, if you would say. We kind of rely on this festival to keep the island going. We have our rest of the stuff the rest of the year, but this is kind of like raises his hands up proudly. This is the big event, and you hear a bunch of people like just kind of like drunkenly like yell out woo and stuff like that in the background, just kind of responding to enthusiasm.
It's a lovely festival.
We like to think so. We've been doing it for quite a few years.
Well, Mr. Mayor, thank you so much for your hospitality and everything else like that. But we do have to get onto a official investigation, and I'm certain that us three squares is going to be less important than entertaining your guests.
You must be exhausted. It's quite the ride across the lake. I'm sure you're here on just the lastest of minute. Please, let us put you up for the night. We've prepared wonderful accommodations for you in our finest inn in town.
Now, Mr. Mayor, I do need to remind you that we are here on official business, and this is something that, while we do take in kind and will go ahead and appreciate certain aspects, by your position, I don't mean to insinuate anything, but I would say that maybe we should go ahead and separate just for this time. We're not agents of any kind of political machine. We're just here to do a job. We can have a photo op once things are done.
I understand, but I think you'll have a much easier time of things with the light. It's quite dark out there at this point, and if you could avoid interfering with the festival, that would be greatly appreciated. Give me a POW check, Agent Sanguine.
14% success.
There's more juice behind those words than normal. They kind of flow past you ultimately, though, but like you kind of feel a little bit compelled almost. Not completely, but like it's a bit of a pressure.
I am going to interpret that as kind of like a weird pushiness, and whatnot. And I become a little bit more agitated. Sir, I'm going to have to ask you to please go ahead and go about your business. I understand that we're not here to create any kind of interference with your festivities or anything else like that. And we're actually attempting to go ahead and just separate ourselves and just minimize the amount of interference that our presence is being. What you are doing right now is escalating a situation, and I need you to step back.
I like defensively steps back. My apologies. You can't blame me for looking out for our golden goose, if you will. And, well, it would be ever so tragic if, given in the dark, one of you were to suffer the same fate. It's quite dangerous out there. The edges of the island are quite steep, and water is quite cold.
Sir, we're the Coast Guard. Do you think of us as idiots?
My apologies, but accidents do happen. I believe that's what happened here, after all.
I roll. No, that's psychotherapy is completely different than human intelligence.
And you can't roll in this case.
Okay.
Something's stopping you from doing that.
Can I roll a human intelligence?
You absolutely can roll human intelligence.
44% fumble.
I mean, he's the mayor. His family's allegedly been here a long time. Like, dude's probably just proud of the festival and really doesn't want you to fuck up his tourism dollars.
I think that, like, I'm mainly, part of it is I'm focused on, like, Sanguine and, like, the sudden aggressiveness that he comes out
I will
with.
say that, like, he's a tad distracting, definitely. Like, he looks happy, but, like, he's definitely not acting happy.
Yeah, speak up and say, Perhaps you could at least point us in the right direction of the inn so we can set our things down before we get to work.
We got that information from the sheriff. It's just right outside of town.
Oh, we would never put you in that dusty old dive of a place. No. We have a much better place prepared for you.
We're not here to take a bribe in order to make you look good. Again, sir, good night and thank you.
I mean, it's all booked up. There's no availability there.
Where else would you recommend then, just in case?
Kind of leads you out the door of the little kind of store you're in, points towards a very nice looking building, very kind of fits in with the rest of the environment around it, very European inspired type of thing, lots of festive stuff all about it. Why, simply here at the Small Island Hotel.
All right, well, thank you. I think we are going to continue to have a conversation ourselves and turn in when we feel ready for it. Good night, Mr. Red.
I understand completely. I have duties to attend to. When you choose to retire for the night, go in and tell them you are from the Coast Guard. They have rooms prepared for all of you already.
Thank you, Mr. Red.
Please, call me Thomas.
Mr. Thomas, thank you.
Have smiles and departs back into the crowd.
Oh, that guy was getting on my nerves.
Yeah, it was even for being like a hospital, that's
hospitable. That man was pushy.
It was pushy, but we should try not to alienate ourselves from the locals.
I mean, yes, but here's the thing. That man felt like he was trying to be in guiding this investigation in order for himself. I'm trying to alienate myself from him so that way he doesn't get in our way.
I don't think that's a bad idea. I just think that it might be more beneficial if we appear to be appeasing him.
Ugh, I fucking hate politics. Do you think he'd accept a bribe?
I don't think so.
That was a joke.
Oh, sorry.
No, it's good. I think you were right. I've become a little too loose with myself with this drink. That was much stronger than I expected. I only took 2 sips and I'm already feeling a little...
Yeah, for a while, so this is particularly strong. It's not supposed to be this strong.
Why don't we go find our rooms and then we can have a conversation in private? Yeah?
Sure.
All right. I guess we're headed to the hotel.
The Small Island Hotel.
The mayor did say that the hotel that Goldblatt was found landing in was all filled up, but at the same time, free rooms. So,
yes.
Landing in or Small Island Hotel?
How far was landing in? Like 5-minute walk, right?
Yeah, you were given a general kind of direction and time, but at the same time, you will admit that now that you're kind of in the center of this all, it's very dark once you leave this town center. Like, there's no street lamps. There's nothing but darkness kind of outside of it. Like, you are in a kind of strange pocket of light amongst all the darkness of the rest of the island.
All right.
And based on your climb in, the description of it's possible to fall off the island, it seems silly, but it's quite possible. If you hit that water, you're probably going to go into shock or something like that and not be able to pull yourself out.
Let's just go to the hotel.
Yeah.
I pull out my flashlight and I use that as a walking aid.
I mean, you don't need it here. It's very well illuminated here.
Oh, it's very well illuminated here. Okay.
Yeah. It's unbelievably well illuminated here in the center of town. Give me an intelligence.
All of us, or?
Just sanguine, because he's asking about light.
Okay.
15% success.
You can't quite put your finger on it because of the various kind of alcohols coursing through your system right now and stuff like that. But like, it's almost like the town just kind of ends where the light stops. Like, maybe it's kind of an unintentional kind of like tourism control thing or something like that. But like, it really does subconsciously do a great job of keeping everyone here in this little town center. Like, venturing out is very unappealing.
I've got like one of them little high-powered flashlights and stuff like that. Can I?
Oh, sure.
Just out of curiosity, I would like to kind of take my flashlight and see if I can illuminate something that's further out in the dark.
I mean, yeah, it's just woods and island and stuff like that at that point. Like, it's
okay. It's
a kind of like pocket of light in darkness. I guess like maybe it's worth talking about this. Ever been out in like true wilderness, like when you're really far away from like city lights, there's no street lamps or anything like that.
A night in the desert is terrifying.
Yeah, like this is some true nowhere near civilization darkness around this town. Like, not anything inherently unnatural or weird about that, but like when you step out of the pocket of light, that light dies real goddamn quick.
I'm going to start making my way towards the small island hotel.
All right. Yeah, a person kind of dressed up in what appears to be traditional, you'd guess, garb for this, like vaguely kind of European inspired, greets you at the front desk. It's a woman with blonde hair. Welcome to the Small Island Hotel. How can I help you? We're booked full tonight. As you may have seen, there's a bit of a party outside right now. Not a lot of rooms available. You have a reservation?
Yes, we're with the Coast Guard.
Oh, you're our special guest for the evening. The mayor told us to put aside rooms specially for you. Leans closer to you. Between you and me, there's a couple very unhappy tourists. We had to bump them to lesser accommodations, but they'll get over it. Plenty of free wassail to go around.
Free, huh?
I mean, for them, it's the least we could do after canceling the reservation to make room for you in town.
Yeah, of course.
No, I mean, that makes sense.
Well, either way, are these separate rooms? Are these a singular rooms suite?
We were told there were 3 of you coming, so kind of like pulls out 3 keys, like real keys, like not key cards or anything, real ass go in a lock keys and hands them to you. They're on the 2nd story. You'll go up the stairs here, you'll go left, and then they're the last 3 rooms on that end.
Thank you.
Welcome to Red Landing. We do hope you enjoy your time here, even though you're here under truly tragic circumstances.
I'll just take the key and head up.
Thank you so much. And I will follow Spark.
I forgot to mention, if there's anything you need, anything else, just call down. We have the famous town wassail, a couple other famous beverages, food, drink. After all, there's a bit of a party out there, but we also understand you might be tired. And if you need anything, just call.
Will do.
Much appreciated. Thank you. Thank you.
As we're walking towards the room, now, I know this seems a little weird, but at the same time, are we going to rooms separately, or is there a way for us to keep communication? Sometimes I feel as if the agent life kind of comes creeping back. I don't know if this is paranoia, but I don't trust easily anymore.
Why don't we see what the rooms and accommodations look like, and we can just share our room?
All right. That's good that we're on the same page.
What are you doing? Making it look like you're all sleeping in separate rooms?
Yeah, I'll like makeshift look like I have, some stuff there just to make it look like the room has been checked into, but we'll regroup in whatever room we decide.
Sure.
Let's do my room.
Copy that. I'll make mine look a little lived in.
All right, so Ancient Saga and Ancient Sanguines, you kind of open up the doors to your rooms to make them look like someone crashed there. Pretty nondescript room. Nothing super stands out except for the fact that like a little table near you come in, there's a big kind of like tankard of something with some small like pastry looking things on a small plate next to it.
Can I go and actually, you know what? I'm going to leave it because considering the alcohol situation from previously, I'm going to assume that's some more of that Wessel drink and I'm not going to touch it.
Probably a safe assumption.
Yeah. So I'm going to ignore all that stuff and, just get the room slightly lived in and then regroup in Mark's room. Are these rooms next to each other or are they kind of spread out?
All 3 next to each other.
Not connecting by any chance?
No.
Okay.
Agent Sanguine, what do you do with your complimentary drink and food?
Here's the funny thing. I already took my 2 sips. It was quite nice. Ultimately, I still know better than to consume alcohol while being on a pill regimen.
I mean, but also you're turning in for the night.
I am turning in for the night.
Nice nightcap would be nice, wouldn't it?
I think, if anything, I will go ahead and make that look a little bit more lived in. I'm going to pick up the wassail and take it with me to Sparks.
All right. You drink some on the way there?
I'll see if anyone else is interested in having a little bit of a cheers before I take a sip. Or before I start drinking. Just make sure that we're all still on the same page and just make sure that we don't have anything else ready to go. But actually, you know what? Did I do just a willpower or a POW or a luck check to just
see a POW to see if you're thirsty right now or not.
All right. 46% out of 40 failure. I am sipping while I am making that shit look lived in.
Yeah, it's good. Like, you're not sure what Spark's on about. This is great. It's free. What could go wrong? Spark, when you enter your room, the little offering is there. It's right on the kind of little side table waiting for you. What do you do?
I take it and pour it down the bathroom sink.
Give me a search as you do this.
A 36 out of an 80% success.
So this stuff pours like thick milk. And now that you're kind of seeing it in normal lighting being poured into a sink, it's got kind of like a beige milk-like look to it. They keep calling it wassail. You're pretty sure this is not wassail, but like it's hard to get over how thick it is. Like this is almost like heavy cream or something. And you swear you're kind of seeing like spirals of like dark gray or black, almost like there's veins inside of it, but it pours down the sink well enough. It goes down thick though. Like this is a thick liquid of some kind. One could say unusually so.
Great. I turn on the sink to help it like drain. And then I go to the bathroom sink and stick my fingers down my throat to make myself vomit.
Yeah, easy enough to do. So it's weird. You throw up. You definitely kind of like whatever's in your system at that point comes up. You feel this stuff kind of like get caught in your throat almost. There's not much of it, so it doesn't have a lot of pull, but like you definitely feel something almost like gelatinous kind of slowly being expelled from your body. Yes, you kind of see it flop into the water and it kind of sinks to the bottom. Give me a sand check though.
84 out of a 90% success.
All right, it's going to be 0 points of sand damage because you passed, but like you swear you see this kind of liquid twitch a little bit when it hits the water.
I'll fucking deal with this later. I flush it.
Agent Saga comes in. Agent Sanguine comes in, sipping from his cup of this.
Spark comes out of the bathroom and sees that Sanguine is sipping on the drink and like tries not to, but gets this like disgusted look on her face.
I noticed the look and I'm like, all right. And I mean, can I tell that like Spark just threw up or at least has the semblance of like they haven't really cleaned up yet perhaps, or just, I don't know. You know what I mean? Like when you can tell like somebody threw up kind of thing.
It's that smell, yeah.
Yeah, her hair's messy and like she rinsed out her mouth, but like, you know, there's still the smell of like stomach bile.
Yeah. I look over and I go, are you okay?
Yeah, don't. You both drank. Go throw up.
Upon hearing this, I'm like, oh, fuck. All right. And like, yeah, and I look over to Sanguine and stop drinking that shit. There's something wrong with it.
I'm not paying attention to either of you. Actually, like halfway in the middle of chugging this.
I am going to try to just smack that like container out of their hands.
I dodge.
Yeah. You could also fight back if you wanted.
I think that, like, I don't know if he's joshing around or whatever the heck. I know these are the two brand new people, but at the same time, like, I'm thirsty. 77 fumble for my 30% dodge.
Do I need to roll like an unarmed combat or strength to like
Unarmed combat.
91 out of 40 failure?
All right, so you fail to hit this out of Sanguine's hand. But Sanguine, you also kind of like, you stumble around some, like you successfully don't get hit or you kind of get knocked over, but like it falls, it breaks on the ground, it shatters, but like you've drunk most of it at this point. Give me a sand check at -20.
All of us or just
Sanguine?
That is a failure at 61% out of 47%.
Describe how you're on the ground right now as you kind of got knocked over as part of that whole mess.
Okay, so Saga tried to smack that out of my arm, but I saw him from the corner of my eye and I kind of like quickly whipped around to make sure that he doesn't hit me. In the quick turn, it kind of splashes back and up in my eye. And from that, I kind of trip over my own feet because now I have wassail in my eye. I dropped the glass and just kind of fell over. I don't know if I fell into the glass or fell into the drink, but all I know is after I rub the wassail out of my eye, I can see just kind of like the image of the broken glass as well as the wassail spilled all over the floor. Still kind of like drink on my face and just kind of on my chest and whatnot. I'm going to imagine that as I'm just kind of on the floor on my knees, kind of hunched over looking at the mess that I've made, I notice that there's all the weird little whatever you just described just swimming about
Oh, no, you don't at all. Give me 1d6.
I don't at all.
You don't at all.
I don't at all. Okay,
Give
cool.
me 1d6, though, for the sand damage.
That's a 5.
Oh my god.
Don't tell me you're going to multiply that shit because it's
No.
a fumble.
Temporary insanity, brother.
Yeah, so
A mad plastic surgeon? Fucking, all right, man. I'm slipping towards a caricature, I guess.
all right, so you're sitting there on the ground and you hear something in the back of your brain. The outsiders will ruin it. Do not let them ruin it. Do what needs to be done. The ritual is all that matters. It approaches. The day of summoning approaches. Deal with the outsiders.
Was Sanguine the only one who heard it?
Of course, Sanguine's the one that heard that.
You see Sanguine just looking at the ground, looking at the spill, the broken glass, and everything else like that. He's kind of like not bobbing back and forth, but he's swaying a little bit. But then you see Sanguine just kind of pick up a glass shard and just look up. Like there's a large kind of, not shiv, but a large glass shard just in his hand. You can see that like he's bleeding from what he's holding on to, but he's just kind of looking up and looking at both of you.
I noticed the glass, and so I kind of get myself into a defensive stance. Just out of just to prep, just in case.
You haven't thrown up yet, right?
I have not.
Give me a sand check.
Right? Are you kidding me? 71 out of 70 failure.
Give me a 1d6.
All right. 2.
So you also hear something compelling you, but because you didn't kind of go full catatonic on this, you feel something in the back of your brain again, like, deal with the outsider. They're going to ruin everything. Do what needs to be done. You are not compelled in the same way that Sanguine was to act. You just feel voices in the back of your brain telling you to do something.
Okay, so I hear it, and I look over at Spark briefly while still also trying to keep my eyes on Sanguine. I'm like, did you hear anything just now?
No, what? Huh?
Deal with the outsider.
Fuck. Something's wrong with this. Whatever this is, there's something wrong with it because I just heard something. And considering I didn't have anywhere near as much as Sanguine did, fuck.
Look, Sanguine, you're a little drunk. You're going to hurt yourself.
The ritual is almost complete. And you're here to fuck everything up. You will be stopped here and now. And I turn to Saga. You heard that too. Deal with the outsider. And I'm starting to get up.
As Sanguine is starting to get up, I look for the closest thing that I have to protect myself with. If some sort of blunt object, is there anything near me I can grab to
Yeah, it's probably like a chair or something you could grab or something.
All right, I'm going to grab that chair. Stay away from me, Sanguine.
While Sanguine's talking to Saga, can I try to just tiptoe forward to get within kicking range of the doctor?
Yeah, give me a stealth.
90% fail.
All right, Sanguine, you notice Agent Spark trying to kind of approach you slowly, methodically. What do you do?
Sweep the legs.
All right, let's see an unarmed combat.
That is.
Can I fight back, Charlie?
You can absolutely fight back.
I just want to let everyone know that I rolled a 55 fumble out of a 40%. So not only is this man just lying in broken glass, I think he attempted to fucking do some sort of action movie sweep the leg shit, and all I'm doing now is just rolling around in
we'll get to what happened to you in a second once we see what happens with Agent Spark and Agent Saga.
I got a 49% success out of a 70. Just straight up kicking at him as he goes to sweep my leg.
All right. Agent Saga, do you do anything?
Yeah, I'm going to join in on that fucking kick.
All right, you're both not kick him?
Well, no, I have the I have the chair in my hand, right?
Are you going to hit him with the chair?
I'm gonna fucking hit him with the chair.
All right. Let's see. 1d4 -1 from you, Agent Spark, unless you have special. Oh, you have a high enough unarmed combat. Actually, you say it's a full 1d4. You got some martial arts training or something.
Yes.
I'm going to say it shares a club for 1d6 damage.
All right. Do I not need to roll like an unarmed or well, I guess do I need to roll like a strength or anything like that? Just
No,
be able to
you're
do
just
my
hitting him with a chair.
Oh, fuck it. Okay. I rolled a 2.
I also rolled a 2.
All right, so you're going to take 4 points of damage from your agents just beating on you with either their feet or their improvised weapons. As part of your fumble, you kind of slip in the liquid and also then kind of like crack your head on the ground for 1 extra point of damage and pass out unconscious.
Right.
Okay, you go throw up now.
Panicked, obviously, because the adrenaline's flowing from this. I'm gonna like drop the chair and immediately run to the bathroom to throw up.
Do you throw up into the sink or the toilet?
I'm gonna throw up into the toilet.
All right. You do that successfully. Again, you're throwing up. You had more of this stuff in your system. Give me a sand check as this stuff comes out of you.
All right. 24 out of 68 success.
Yeah, you feel it kind of like sticking in your throat, but it hits the water and then kind of does the weird slithering thing. Maybe it's the adrenaline. Maybe it's the fact you just beat the crap out of a fellow agent with a chair. You're not quite sure. But like, yeah, this moment doesn't seem real to you to a certain extent. But yeah.
Okay.
No sand damage from that.
But just out of curiosity, I noticed it it felt like it was affected by water.
It hit the water and kind of did the same, like you saw it twitch upon hitting the water or something. Yeah.
Okay, so it reacted to the water.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you're kind of standing there heaving some. Agent Spark, what are you doing with the unconscious Agent Sanguine?
I'm going to grab like the telephone cord. I assume that they're like the phone in here is one.
Oh
of the
yeah,
old
this is some
micro-rotary.
vintage technology here at this hotel.
I'm going to unplug it. Basically, I'm not going to rip it out of the wall, but I'm going to unplug it and I'm going to tie his hands behind his back with the cord.
Sure.
Did he have a med kit with him or a first aid kit?
I'll say there's probably one in the bag. Yeah, it's other been something you probably thought to buy before you came.
I mean, I'm going to look through it and see if it has anything that's meant to like force somebody to throw up.
My med kit is filled with all the stuff I have prescriptions for myself for. I just want to give you a heads up that like there's a lot of like oxycodone, Vicodin, yada yada. Probably like I think he'd have like hangover stuff, so activated charcoal would be another thing. But otherwise, like my med kit is a regular ass med kit plus all the shit that Sanguine will have on him.
All right. Here's the fun part. I don't have any medicine skills, so I'm looking and I have no idea what I'm looking for.
I'm going to assume that I have some basic first aid skills here because I did go to college and they do have like science courses I have to take. So there's a certain level of just basic, hey, stop the bleeding kind of situation and like just bandage. So that's kind of what I'm going to do. Just basically like to apply enough pressure to try to stop the bleeding. So I'll just do some basic bandaging is what I'll do. Is that do I need to roll anything specific on that? My first aid is 10.
What are you trying to do exactly? Just bandage him up?
I'm just trying to stop the bleeding.
Stopping the bleeding is fine. Actually, kind of like fixing the damage that would require first aid for.
Yeah, no, I just want to stop the bleeding for now because I'm not an expert and I'm not going to risk causing more damage. But
they're not bleeding bad either. It's kind of like putting a small head wound or something. Yeah, it's just putting something on there.
Yeah, so I'll do that. It's going to be very like makeshift, but it's good enough that it'll do something.
So I'm not exactly a spook, but I do work for the NSA and I do break into people's homes and probably do dubious things. Is there any trick of the trade that I've heard of or might know of to, cause someone to puke in a less than, we'll say, friendly manner?
But let's start with a luck check.
All right. 8% success.
The doctor, against normal recommended medical procedure, has a small bottle of Epicac for emergency poisoning situations, one might say. Maybe it's if you take too much of a certain drug. Maybe if it's a bad trip, you're trying to force yourself out of it. Who knows? It's not recommended you do this, but it'll make you throw up, definitely.
How long does it take to kick in? Normally?
Pretty instantaneous.
Okay, I found some Epicac. Can you look strong. Can you like pick him up, drag him over to the fucking toilet?
Yeah, I'll carry him over. Would you like me to roll a strength to carry him over?
Yeah, let's see a strength still while you do this.
All right. 11 critical out of 75.
Maybe it's the adrenaline. Maybe it's just like what needs to happen. But yeah, you kind of managed to like get him up over there, kind of position well. Like he's good to go.
Do they have like the little like plastic cups in here next to the sink that you?
Yeah, I'll say they do.
I'll do that. I'll grab a little bit of that. I'll grab a pill. And is Epicac a pill or is it like
It's a liquid.
Oh, never mind. Okay, I'm gonna pour the liquid in Sanguine's mouth and plug his nose and put my like hand over his mouth to make him swallow.
Yeah, he's kind of unconscious, so he does that slowly. But yeah, so couple seconds pass, and then just kind of the retching begins as the Epicac kicks in, and kind of normal stuff comes up first, and then a blob that if it was kind of like not coming out of an agent's mouth right now would be about the size of, let's say, a baseball or something, kind of like pours out of Sanguine's mouth and hits the water. And you see this stuff very obviously kind of like organically react to the water. Not like it's alive necessarily, but like it's significantly denser than the water and kind of slowly sink to the bottom of the bowl and then kind of down into the pipe where it rests. It's very heavy. Like it's obviously displacing everything around it.
I'm gonna flush the toilet.
Yeah, it goes down normally enough. Paint the scene. Agent Sanguine is kind of unconscious at this point. Drool, vomit all over them. Agent Saga, you are kind of standing there, I'm assuming kind of like holding on to him some.
Mm-hmm.
Agent Spark, you're holding a small cup, having just caused your colleague to vomit. On behalf of all of us at Negative Modifier, thank you for listening, and we do hope you enjoyed this episode. If you are not already a subscriber, please consider becoming one, partially so you do not miss our next episode, but mostly because it helps new listeners find us. In addition to that, if you liked the episode, please consider clicking the thumbs up button below. If you'd like to further support the show, please consider joining us on Discord or becoming a Patreon patron.